I told you this guy's a genius.
Self-proclaimed, maybe.
Well, as long as it works for him.
Exactly my point.
Awesome.
You say fudge, you say fuck, you say fudge. Right? I'm just saying. I haven't gone running for a while now. It's insane. If you don't do it for a while, you think you've lost it. But it's still there. You just have to access it through experience. That's how it's done. You just have to make experience and continue to do them, and then challenge yourself and listen to the people in your surroundings to a certain degree. Just look at what they do, what they say, and then just learn to flow. Bring your body in shape. Now I'm just gonna focus on like having sex, man. Running is like having sex. No talking, just breathing and trying to get high together, right? If you want to do Tantra, that's what you have to do. You have to fucking prepare yourself, man. You don't just do Tantra. This shit will knock you out. Tantra is a whole different level from psychedelics. Forget psychedelics. I'm telling you, a woman is the real challenge. That's the mountain you're trying to climb. Okay, just keep going slowly. We're not in a hurry, right? Foreplay. I haven't run in a while. Feel the urge to talk. Also sprint. You can sprint sometimes. You're never too old. You can always start. Smoking is shit. Alcohol makes you fucking weak. Work for your highs. Work for them. And appreciate them. Know what you did to get there. And see if you can repeat it. Okay. I have my slackline with me. Smoking is shit. Do it sometimes and then stop again. Okay, I just wanted to get going, to be honest, because I'm in a hurry. And to be honest, if I want to go running, I'll just go running. I think, now I'm just chickening out. No, just maintaining my boundaries. Yesterday I was at the boulder hall. You know, I'm struggling. Just like everyone else, I'm struggling. And sometimes people feel so good. They sit around there, you know, like guys with their legs spread. And sure, they don't give a shit. You know, I feel good right now. You know, legs spread. That's a clear sign of I own the place. You know, like this, right? I own the place. This is how men sit that are assholes. Like, spread legs. The same with women. It's like, you know, come fuck me. Sorry, fudge me, you know? We have to have proper speech. You know? But, you know, I like to run just to get me going. But I can also run more. But not with this weight. I just felt like I was too late. Too late for what? I don't know. For a beautiful sunset or something. Or maybe some kind of woman, right? Maybe I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna build up my slack line. This is how my mind works. It's the only thing that gets me to places. Thinking there's gonna be a woman that wants to have sex with me. You know, I'm not going. I'm not doing all of these things just because I want whatever. I want to have a woman that likes me better than everyone else. That just wants to spend time with me, solely with me. And I didn't want to film this. And it said, what are you doing? Why aren't you filming this? You know, there's this one song I released with a video where I ran. It's called, what's it called? Running for My Life. That's a good one. You know, I am running, but I also have to maintain my boundaries, because if you go to the boulder hall, let's say, and you know, you meet someone that you know, he's like 19 supposedly, right? His age just keeps changing. I don't know. I thought he was 18 and then suddenly he's 19. You know, I don't really care. He's just always trying to be one step ahead. He's a liar also. He keeps lying to make himself look bigger. And when he's alone at home, he's really small. I know that. I just know it. Because if somebody comes and says, you know, he hasn't really been doing any hiking, you know, at least I think so, and maybe I just assume he's lying, then he says, yeah, we're gonna hike 100 kilometers. You know, go for it, man. That was never my style. And that's the truth. And he just, you know, he just wants to win. He just wants to be the fastest, the best, but he isn't. Nobody is, you know? Who's the kid on the streets of Brazil that nobody's never heard of and that doesn't give a crap about earning money with soccer? You know, he rather plays it with his friends on the streets. That to me is probably the best soccer player in the world. For him, you know, why do I have to be the best for others? And that's when you start lying. When you say, yeah, I'm doing really good. You know, you're not even doing good anymore. No, it's really, really good. But I'm glad I just went for that run. I'm more like a sprinter. Actually, you know, I like hiking, I like sprinting. But to be honest, I used to go running more. And I think I'm working myself to that. Now I just ran to get into the mood. I like it, but not with this kind of backpack. That's for sure. Because holding the camera is already one thing. I don't want to worry about the backpack also. You know, it's a good backpack. It's a good backpack. It's a cheap backpack from army shop, 35 euros. The experiences I've made with Fear Raven is, it's shit. Yeah, it's just the least I can say. You know, it's a shit. I once bought that was from Norona. I think it's called like this. And the Troll, it's a brand for outdoors from Norway. I think it's Norway. It's super expensive. And I was in Norway and I spent time with these friends that had all this super gear, you know, like sweat, Gore-Tex and all that kind of shit. Lightweight, you know, really expensive stuff, you know. You know, one starts with the Tatonka backpack and then it's like maybe 150 if you get it cheap, 200, 60 liters. It's more than enough, man. You don't need that much. You know, I would always tell people, you know, 40 liters, you know, 40 plus 5 or 40 plus 10, and then learn to pack it. You know, and what you take, that's all. You don't take more, you know, you fill it. I had a 60 liter backpack. I still have it. 60 plus 10, I think. When that's full, it's gonna be heavy, my friend. And you're gonna carry that. That's gonna be at least 20 kilos of weight on your back while you say, you know, hey, I'm gonna go hiking. Yeah, how often have you hiked with 20 kilos on your back? How often have you hiked 100 kilometers on one day? Are you fucking stupid? Like, you know, I'm talking to you and you're so deep in your shit, in your bliss, in your lies. You know, I'm the best there is. You know, this guy in his mind creates the fantasy where he's already living. Sorry, I'm so loud again. In this beautiful, beautiful nature. I can't help it. You know, I'm just so riled up. I wish I could have bought an entire 20 bottle beer crate and then I could have just drunk myself into bliss. But I didn't, because I couldn't, because I don't have the money. And then I just bought one really small bottle of beer and one of this kind of, you know, sugar-infused mate drink. It also said ginger, but you didn't taste that at all. You know, it's like, if you make ginger tea, make sure it's strong. And also weird, it would never occur to me to make these lemonades myself. Because I'm trying to stay away from sugar, but maybe I should change that. Maybe I should just make it myself again. You know, but there's time. Because at the moment, the last possibly 10 euros I will keep for one more session in the boulder hall. And that's it. And I'm gonna wait for next month. And then I'm possibly going to buy one crate of beer. And once I have that, you know, I can take 3 beer, go somewhere, drink them, and then slackline. You know, that's what I really would like to do. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going slow now. Because I caught up, you know. Because now you have to understand a bit what I mean when I talk about time management. Time is of the essence. If you dawdle now, that's what you have to realize and accept. If you dawdle now, you have to put in the work at a later stage. And you know, if that's the case, then just prepare yourself for it, right? You know, I'm doing the opposite of dawdling, you know, because I've learned from my past mistakes. I want to go here now, which aren't mistakes at all. I'm just, wow, that, ow, wow. Always the possibility of hurting yourself in bare feet, because you never know what's along the path. That hurt, but it's just like a scratch. Follow me into the forest. Yeah, it's a scratch. Yeah, I'm still here, you know, don't worry. Oh, what's this? Yeah. You know, if you want to train your hands, this is a good gesture. Make the claw, right? That's good for climbing as well. Jesus, I cannot shut up. This is so weird. I really have problems just keeping my mouth shut. People hate that about me. I can't help it. You know, I like it. I mean, I don't mind. That's just who I am. I mean, it's not who I am. It's just how I am. And you either get used to it and accept that I am like this, or we just won't see a lot of each other. Can't help it. And that also keeps people away from me. If you're just a little bit, just a bit toxic, wow. You know, birds really make the most of their abilities to fly. I'm just saying. They really make the most of their ability to fly. And most humans, they barely get there. I mean, I move graceful. I move graceful. And when people see me move, they just like, how do you do that? I don't know. I just practiced a lot. Chit chat. I just practiced a lot. I can't help it. You know, I just need to speak. Otherwise, why would I film myself? I mean, I'm silent already no, actually, I'm silent when I'm at home. I'm really silent. It's pissing me off. I'm walking a bit rough now. Talking a bit rough now. Because I feel like I just don't get the things that I'm supposed to have, right? I don't get the sex. I don't get the women. I don't get the worship. I don't get the messages. I don't get the money, right? I don't get the booze. I don't get the rapé. You know, that's how I feel like all the time. And it just makes me want to stop. And it's stupid to walk through nature like this. Because you can't hear shit. And if you walk around like this, you know, nature's gonna take care of you, my friend. You know, you're gonna step into some spiky things. And then, you know, it's gonna hurt. And then you're gonna scream, and then you're gonna cry, and then you're gonna mope, and then you're gonna say, yeah. So maybe you should have better listened. So what do we mean when we say you need to listen? Listen to the anger. You know, be like a parent to yourself. What are you angry about? You know, what are you angry about? I don't feel like I'm being appreciated enough. Well, then appreciate yourself, you know? You know, is getting drunk really appreciating yourself, or is it just forgetting yourself? Yeah, I know, you know, it's forgetting myself. Is it? Or is it appreciating yourself? You know, it's like the monk. Only you're not a fat monk that just sits around and just gets drunk. No, you just drink a bit to help you to let go. And then you just let go. You know, I got back home from going to the shops, and the only thing I bought, you know, I brought back my bottles. So I got the money back, and from that money and a bit of extra from my bank account, I bought one Mate drink, Mate drink, and one, it's just like lemonade, right? I mean, the mate is probably negligible in there. It's just the sugar that gives you the boost. You know, it's not enough. You know, probably the way to boost yourself would be a slightly different approach. I would suggest, no, we don't sniff stuff into the nose. We don't take amphetamines. We don't take cocaine. That's for assholes, right? You know, I'm not going to talk about business class again because that's just a personal choice. If you want to be an asshole, take your amphetamines. I meet these people. I've met these people. I stay away from these people. I delete your number when you're like this. Because, you know, I would keep coming at you and show you that you're a weak fuck. And so I rather stay away. Because that wouldn't end well, right? Because I'm just gonna tell you. Ow. I'm just gonna tell you what I think of you. Just with my presence, you know, you're gonna tell yourself. So you're gonna look at me and think, why does he just drink water? And why do I snort cocaine on the toilet? Yeah, because you're a fucking idiot. And yes, the F word stays, because that's just an exclamation mark, my friend. You know? Get used to human speech. What good is it to ban one word? What good is it to say I'm terrible? Yeah, so what? You snorted stuff. Then stop. You know? You can always stop. And my idea about the mate drink would be probably you could drink a coffee and then drink this mate drink. Or you drink first the coffee and when it's residing you drink a mate drink, but you also always have to pay attention to yourself and how you feel, right? Listen to your voice. Maybe I need sleep. I basically, I stayed awake because I just couldn't sleep until about 4 or 5, and then I just collapsed into nothingness. You know, I went to the boulder hole, I hiked back, and then I was at, wait, what is this? Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna go back that way. There's the road. You know, I know my way around here. And if I don't know it, you know, my feeling just sends me somewhere else. I don't have to be like everybody else. I'm just saying. You know, I don't have to go running every day. I don't have to run an ultra marathon. I don't know. If I occasionally sprint, or okay, if I occasionally would run, but I just don't feel like it. To me at the moment it's just, let's say, not conducive to what I want to do with my life. Plus I'm also a bit sensitive. Right, I have to consider that. So that bit of running was already, you know, like a stretch for me. I haven't done this in a while. So I also have to get back into it. Which is why you can do some kind of circle training. You know, you take some kind of road. I'm just gonna keep going. I don't know, there's a house, I don't know where that comes from. And then you just run, and then you walk again. Let's say, I don't know, you just do a short sprint, and then you walk. You know, you don't have to go for hours running unless you want to. Maybe it will help me. Maybe it will push me through. You know, that could be. It's absolutely possible. Because if you don't have money to you know, buy your alcohol to make yourself feel better. Or you just say, you know, I just want to spend less, you know. You just restrict yourself. You just say, I'm only going to use, I don't know, 5% of my income for food. You know, you could just say, you know, 200 euros I have per month. And I have to buy whatever I have, you know. Okay, that's like apartment included, and then 200 euros. And that's for everything. That's for food, cigarettes, phone bills. Okay, you're gonna have to make some choices now. You know, like some tough choices. Wow. I have no idea where I am here. It's weird, because I know this place. Ah, I've been here before, okay. But I didn't know it was here, though. Okay, now I'm not so sure anymore. Yeah, I've been here before. You know, there's like the castle. I just didn't know I would come here. I don't know how I feel. I feel like I just want to relax. And that's why I'm going into nature. I have no excuse, it's not raining. So all I can do is just continue. Oh yeah, that road was blocked. So they were doing some kind of, you know. So that's also why I don't want to run at the moment, because I feel good with walking. Oh shit. Okay, that's closed. Okay, let's just see. Maybe I can just continue. Okay, that's close. Guten Tag. Kann man hier noch weiter? Nee. Egal. Aber wieder zurück. Yeah. Okay, that's gonna stretch out my time, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's kind of obvious. This path leads nowhere. Well, who could have told? Yeah, you see, that's what I mean. Sometimes you just have to suck it up. And I just go back. I mean, that's just how it is. Sometimes you just have to suck it up and then go back. You know, that's how I would not want to live. Like directly next to a hiking trail. You know, I really, you know, you could say maybe I like people, but not that much. It's terrible. I feel shit. I feel really terrible. I don't know why. I drank water. Okay, I drank one beer now. Could that be it? It is possible that alcohol is making you feel like a real sloth. Not in a bad way. Yeah, in a bad way. You know, the sloth in nature, that's in a good way. You know, it's just chilled, right? The sloth is just chilled. But a sloth in a human body, I mean, you're gonna never get anywhere. You know, it's like, you go to Africa, you realize how chilled people can be about life. But that's not the kind of, you know, barbarian conqueror spirit. I don't know why they are chill like this. I mean, you see 10 people running after, not everybody's like this, but you have 10 people running after like one of these trash cars. Yeah. One of these trash cars. you know, collecting trash. And they just, with 10 people, and usually 3 or 4 of them are busy collecting bags. You know, 4 collect bags. And the other 6 just stand around waiting until the other 4 take a break and then 4 others come in. I mean, that's a different kind of mentality for life. That's a totally different kind of mentality in total. I'm just gonna go back up here. Take the next right. Or I just go left the way I came. The reason why I want to avoid that is because of all these thistles. I'm just gonna call them like this. It's just like these little plants with really sharp, pointy spikes. But to be honest, my feet aren't as vulnerable as they used to be. And also realize again, walking up, you know, I should have worn short trousers now because it's too warm. But it's good that I'm on the go now because I'm just walking it out. You know, probably I'm not gonna be where I wanna be when I wanna be there, but maybe I will. Maybe I'm just still working, right? That's like what you always have to reascertain. Is like, okay, where am I? What am I doing? I like drinking alcohol. Do you know? Ow, wow, that hurts. You know, you see, I'm sensitive right now, and I was a bit careless. Wow, why is that so painful? Ow, 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 ow. And the voice says there's nothing. Okay? Sometimes I have pain in my feet and I feel like I'm just imagining it. And what you always have to remember, what did you do yesterday? I've had this kind of pain before. When? After I went to the boulder hall. Because these shoes are terribly terrible. I mean, they suck. They suck. And I mean, sure, if you're used to having crushed feet from all these other shoes, it's not much of a difference. Plus, you think you're helping yourself. You know, I'm bouldering, I'm getting strong. Yeah, your upper body is getting strong, and your legs, you know, that's how these people look like. They have these really thick upper bodies, but their legs are totally weak, you know, and they often don't have, is that the abdominal strength? They're lacking this completely. And I'm getting sick of talking. Yeah, I know. Leave me the fuck alone. You know, you want to stop talking, the voice says you have to keep talking. Because that's how I get high. That's how I talk it all out. Now I can think about what is weighing on me. Okay, yesterday I went to the boulder hall. I spoke there with people. Fuck it. Some of these people are such assholes. The owner of the boulder hall is a fucking oaf. Let me just speak my mind, please. You know, let me just say these things. He's a bloody oaf. You know, fudging just doesn't do it. He has got a wife and children, and now he's got new employees. You know, little children also, just like himself. You know, little like, you know, some employers, they're not gonna hire the people that's gonna push him. No, They're gonna hire the little girls and boys that will look up to him and say, "Hello, Daddy, can you give me my paycheck?" They're not gonna employ a man to help with the work. No, they're gonna employ little children. And that's bad for business. Like, you don't get, I think so. And I'm right, the voice says, you're right. It's bad for business. And you have to think about these things if you want to be self-employed. You know, and you don't know what's at the end of the road of self-employment. What's at the end of the road? Maybe you have to, or not have to, but you want to employ others. So I'm just saying, let's say you start earning money with YouTube or music or whatever, and suddenly you have a lot of money. Who are you going to invest this in? Where is that energy gonna go? It's the energy you got from the people. Yeah? Who are you gonna give it to? You know? Business class flight tickets? For what? You know? You could travel by car, much cheaper. You can keep sleeping in hostels. You know? Keep being a backpacker. Because that's where the adventure is. All the snobs, they sit in their hotels and act like, you know, oh, what kind of experience is that? You know, I went to these places. You know, South Africa, you have all these Boere. It's the white South Africans. You know, I'm being delayed. Okay. You know, I'm being delayed. I always hope I'm gonna just meet some kind of beautiful woman. I'm even spitting for that. I just want to cuddle people. I just want to have an income. And it's, you could say, yeah, it's not conducive. I like the word now. It just gives you the feeling that I'm, you know, I have a right to feel the way I feel, right? It's like, as a matter of fact, right? It's like, you know, making sense, making no sense. You know, it's just, what are you talking about? Well, you have an employer, and this employer employs people who just want to worship him. Okay, but that's false worship, because he's buying their allegiance. And he doesn't want a challenge. He doesn't want a real man working there that has something to say. No, he hires people that are maybe a bit like him. Okay, there's a point to it. Maybe he has to keep the way he is safe. Because if he would hire me, you know, I would start changing this place. I've already realized it. Well, if he picks up on that and he says no, you know, good job. I even have to praise him for that. Not too much though. Because change should be something that is welcome. And if somebody, you know, I'm just saying, you know, my feelings got a little bit hurt, but I knew it would happen. Because they don't like me. Because in certain ways you could, you know, I'm just better. I'm hard competition. You don't get my friendship just like that. You know, I don't come and give you a smile if you're an asshole. But you can change that. You know? I don't go around smiling at everyone. No. What's a groundhog doing in my mind? Groundhog. Yeah. Groundhog Day, it's just repetition. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Oui, je veux. Je veux coucher avec toi. Maybe I'm gonna meet a French woman now. And she's gonna be sweaty, and I'm gonna be sweaty, and we're gonna see each other, and we're gonna realize that's it. That's the moment of truth. you know, all or nothing. And it's just gonna turn out, you know, she loves what I'm doing, you know? She just loves me, I don't know. She just met me in the spiritual realm and she felt like she had to come here today, and she traveled all the way from Paris just to meet me here because her heart told her. I mean, does she have to be French? I don't know. Would make not talking a lot easier. But it's always gonna be awkward anyway. You know, you meet a woman, you love each other, it's gonna be a bit awkward. But why do we always have to be so clean? Let's say now I'm going for a hike. Now I feel sticky and sweaty. You know, that would be normal if I would live in the Amazon rainforest. Okay, but I wouldn't wear clothes. And I wouldn't mind the way I smell. Because nobody's gonna judge it, because, you know, everybody smells the way they smell. You know, they're not, you know, people don't go around and say you stink unless you really stop taking care of yourself and just roll around in shit. Well, then you're just the weirdo, you know. I think every village has that. Maybe that's me. I don't know, right? I suppose I don't smell weird. You know, but I keep thinking about it. I don't know where left leads me. Fuck it. Why am I here? Today is a really weird day. Like, today I was all purpose, and today I'm just nothing. Yesterday I was all purpose. I had this sense of purpose, and suddenly there was a voice in my head saying, you're gonna run out of luck. Well, that's a hard message to swallow. I mean, how are you gonna work on that? And that just brings me back to that story about that guy, you know, 18, 19, I don't care, man. It's just a number anyway. You're still a phony. That just sits around jerking off on how he looks like, how super thin he is. Yeah, sorry, if that's what you have, keep clinging. You know, keep clinging, but work on it in the meantime. Exactly, you know? And you just listen to the buzzing. So if you just sit around and you just bathe in your own glory, your own self-created vision of yourself, where you're the best and you just figured it all out, well, what's gonna happen in a year from now on? What's gonna happen in 2 years from now on? What's gonna happen in 10 years? It's better to prepare yourself and to say, you know, there may be hardship along the road. There may be hardship. Suddenly you may be lonely. Your girlfriend may leave you. Your friends may turn their back. Or you feel like you have to let go of them. And you chose that yourself. I chose these things. I was sick of the friends that used to call me, and then we just had like 2-hour chit chat about what happened during my day. I don't want this with friends. I want a wife. You know, that's what I'm saying. Okay. But I also have to admit, I'm not so fixated on one anymore. You just have to accept these things. And that's truth. And I don't have to look inside now and start smiling because a part of me still hopes. Because to me, it does not matter to a certain degree who it is. You know, what matters to me is that she's devoted to this relationship, and that she's willing to put in the work. You know, I'm looking for a spirit, for a woman with spirit. You know, there are people that are literally dead. And, you know, you can drown your spirit in too much booze, too much coffee, too much alcohol, and most of all, too much anger and too much sloth. You know, I'm just saying, Brotherhood, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, right? Got lust and all that kind of stuff. You gotta work with these things, because your spirit can drown in shit. And that's where these methods of purification, I learned a lot from listening to Ramdas, the yogis, something like this, of the Bhagavad Gita. It's in some of my content. I don't know where. I just saw one. It's something with art, images, and then, but it's not the one I mean. But I have it in there somewhere. I don't know. Just have to look for it. And then, of course, stuff like Joseph Campbell. I just had to get the heat out. I was at home. I was working on the eye for The Night is Angry with Me. That was the video previous to this one. That's a new, very new kind of attempt. Never done it like this. It's interesting. I'm not yet sure what's gonna come out of this. I have an idea, and I already rendered the image with the moving eyes. And now I have to see what else is going to come out of this. But now that I'm talking about it and I open my mind to it, it's starting to take shape. And that's how you do what, you know, was it Dale Carnegie or Napoleon Hill that wrote the book? I think they're connected. That wrote the book Think and Grow Rich. Now you have to be smart about making money. But I have made a choice that I do not want to be like an Osho that just aimed for the money. I want to aim for the people. And I want to do the work that I want to do, and then I want to say, if it's honest and you like it and you accept me, money is going to flow. And you either do it like this, you know, or you pay people. You know, that's like the way I'm doing it, is like building it up until it's stable and then just keep it coming. Which is, for me, the biggest challenge and the highest learning curve. Because I'm gonna have nothing. I mean, I always have myself and my faith and my belief and, you know, my opinions and, you know, everything I know about myself, which is constantly growing. You know, aha, that's how I am, you know. And that's why I'm so interested. You know, I keep talking about this one woman that just inspired me to do all kinds of things like dancing and blah blah whatnot. Where I think like she feels a bit like me, that she just doesn't seem to be interested in me, you know. Although we had, you know, encounters together and there was some kind of, you know, but there just doesn't seem to be a whole lot of interest. So what do I know about myself? I met this woman, and before I met her, I said the next woman I sleep with is gonna be my wife. And I met her, I asked her to marry me. She said, well, that's a bit much, you know, like I can't give you that. And then I said, well, we could work towards it. And then she said, okay, you know, that I can do. What do I have now? You see what I mean? And then we did do things. There was some kind of ceremony. You know, during an ayahuasca ceremony, we were like, it felt like, bonded with each other. There was somebody that we asked to perform the ceremony. But the way we said it was, you know, could you do it just to practice, right? So we know what's coming. Yeah, but the way I see it, we were in a state of high awareness and consciousness. And we both accepted it, and we were bound to each other. And the guy who did it, who is some form of priest, or was in, I don't know, he has it in himself, but he just has to open up to it. That's just his personal problem. And so he did this with like holy water and stuff, and he balmed us, and then he told us how to be with man and wife, you know. If your wife kneels, you have to kneel, you know, this kind of stuff. You always support each other, you know. If the one is struggling, you stay awake with her. You know, you keep the consciousness in the room so that she can heal properly. Okay, that's what happened. And afterwards, to me, it's like a secret marriage vow. But now it's not secret because I spoke about it. The first time have I described it like this. Now, question, what's gonna be by the time that this video is being released? I don't know. But I've said it now. And it started to mean, I always thought like it meant something. But if you say, you know, doesn't it mean anything to you, and your supposed partner just like keeps quiet about it, or just says, even rejects it, that was nothing. Then the question is, wait, does she just want to taunt me? Is this part of the, you know, cat and mouse play? Like, meow, you know, meow, you know, you have to come for me. Oh, why? Right. Be grounded, be a woman, be honest about it, have some bloody balls. You know, I'm not gonna be your father and parent you into having sex. I'm just saying, I'm not gonna chase you like some stupid teenager. And yet I am. But now we have to come to terms with, who have I been wed to? I did not know her at all. And now I have the feeling that's a done deal. So I'm learning about myself that ever since that happened, and I would suggest, you know, we did consummate the marriage because we had sex a couple of weeks after that. So I would suggest, you know, it happened. To me, that's a personal belief. And so I'm learning about myself at the moment that I did meet women along the way. And as soon as we met, one of the first things I mentioned was that I'm married. And although they did show an interest before, after they did, you know, after I told them, they retreated. So question, because I always thought, why do you retreat now? You know, don't you want it anymore? Well, maybe they accepted it because I told them, you know, I just said, I don't know, I feel like, you know, I explained it even. I said, you know, yeah, I liked her, you know, like I worked at the cinema, there was someone, I liked her, and I said to her, you know, I'm married. And then, you know, we kind of gotten to talk more with each other because I really liked her. She also reminded me of her, of my wife. I just put it a bit in air quotes because I'm just not sure. And so I haven't seen her in over a year. And to be honest, in a way, I made sure of that. Somehow. Actually, I didn't. But apparently my behavior, you know, I was just being honest, you know. There was anger, so I got angry. I mean, I should be allowed to do that, you know. And if she's then afraid of me, then I was right about it. She's just a chicken. She's just a coward. And so the question is, how much should I wait for anything? For anyone also. Wow. Yep. No, it's not about deserving anything. You know, how much should I wait for anyone? Well, if you like someone more than yourself, and you feel like this deep longing, like somebody that makes you suffer so much, you know, just the love of not having them with you, it's enough to drive you insane then. Because there's so much beauty in her, and I feel like she just doesn't see it. She feels like I reject her. But it's actually the opposite. You know, I'm trying to attract her, but she just doesn't want what I'm giving. Or maybe she wants it, but she just thinks, maybe she thinks she doesn't deserve it. And maybe I think I don't deserve her. Anyway, that's just some of the ideas I have in my mind, feelings that I'm trying to sort out. And every time I meet a woman, the first thing I say is, I'm married. Or I have a wife. And then I explained it to this other one and I said, well, the situation is like this. You know, I met someone and I said, before we slept with each other, you know, the first woman I sleep with, now the next woman I sleep with is gonna be my wife. And that was after my, after my spiritual awakening, which I have described in other books, possibly transcendence of life as we know it, which has the words, you know, trance and dance, yeah? That's why it's written like this. It's not a spelling mistake, just so you know. It's a nice book about psychedelic experiences. There's a lot of images in there, so it's just a teaser. I think it's 40 euros, but it's gonna keep you occupied for some time, you know, because you don't need to read it. If you like my style, you know, have a blast. That's all I can tell you every time, again and again. You know, have a blast. Go for it. If you like my style and you like listening to my thoughts and ideas, that's what I have in my books. That's what I have in my books. But it's a bit different because I don't have to talk. I'm writing. And my flow when I write is much different. I really go berserk. Like I go nuts, bonkers at times. And I enjoy that, you know. To me that's pleasure. To let loose. But at the moment I just don't really get there. Because I've written so much, I'm just waiting for people to realize it. And yeah. You know, until that's happened, I'm just gonna keep producing content, right? Because when you do something like this thing that I'm doing, which is insane, I mean, there's no other word for it. I say insanely beautiful. And to me, crazy is a compliment because you have to be able to get there. I mean, I hate the sound of cars. I just wish they would stop. Yeah. People are disrespectful, have no respect for themselves. They drink alcohol, right? They just meet a random dude, and although they said they were in love with someone else, you know, they just join me on a hike in the full moon and think, now I'm gonna show this other guy, you know, I'm just gonna have sex with this one. Well, that's not gonna work. Because I didn't fall for it. I just said, nah, you know, you have to come my way a little. Because if you're, you know, that's like all these tricycles. You know, she's in love with this one, and he's in love with her, but he's in a relationship, and she's in a relationship, and then she thinks, well, I'm not gonna get him, so I might as well look for someone else. You know, and then she meets someone like me and I'm already in love with someone else, but she isn't here. You know, that's all I get. People that want someone else, but do not want to invest into this. And that's the problem. I mean, just to hear this, how me, this Christopher guy, who always was looking for someone, even when I was a young buck. You know, I was always looking for someone. And what is this voice? You're running out of luck. Okay, maybe that's... I'm running out of luck. Yeah, that can be really terrible. And now it says you will never run out of luck. What does that mean? So if I meet another woman and have sex with her, what? I'm gonna be destroyed? Well, what can I do about it? I can make a conscious choice. I can say, well, then destroy me. You know, bring it, I could say. Bring it. But I know what life can do to you. You're gonna wish you never asked for it. Because life can destroy you if you don't play along. There are rules, my friend. You meet a woman and there's a clear message. There's a clear message. You are bound for each other. You are bound to each other for life. I mean, you're Jake Sully and you just slept with someone. Although you're in an avatar and you're a human and she's a Nari or something, makes no sense. Because that body's just an empty shell. You don't know now that they can transfer you. You don't know that. You just fall in love. She doesn't think of anything. You don't think of anything. You have sex. Kaboom! Avatar 2, right? But you didn't think about it. You just felt love for each other. And you didn't care that there was this other guy. You were just in love with each other. But then you're either Jake Sully and you're gonna go and get the, Turuk Makto. Become Turuk Makto. I am Turuk Makto. Fly it with me, brother. Fly with me, brother. Fly with me, brother. Hop. Fly with me, brother. You can be that one, or you're just someone else. Just that weird creep, that just fucks the chief's daughter, possibly impregnates her, and then lets her fall into madness and just says like, have it. No, what would he say? Like, think of something dramatic. This is your movie script now. You can really think about the shit that you're gonna say to make yourself feel powerful. Okay, that's too much sun. Oh, there's a runner. But I'm walking. So, I'm just talking. I'm still trying to get where I want to be. Continue to be who you are. So, and that's always the choice that you have. And that brings me back to being either Turuk Makto. Wait a second. I'm constantly in conversation with myself, which path I should take, like right, left, straight ahead. I see someone running, I feel like I have to hurry. And it says, if you do this, then what? Fuck me. And then I go here and then the voice says, that's it. And then I go 10 meters and then the voice says something, if you keep going like this, then what? And then I realize, oh my God, I have to turn around. And then I turn around and then it says again, that's it. You see, it makes no sense. Because what I think is right in one moment is often wrong in the next. And that's why I started to hesitate, like very much. I mean, I'm hesitating with women. If there's no clear sign from the woman, I mean, you can flash me a beautiful look. But if you're not 100% in it, I'm not going to be the one that's going to unfasten your bra this time. Because that's what I mean. I want a woman that wants to give herself to me. I don't just, you know, that's for me important. Because I've always felt like I've chosen for them, but it doesn't work. Because they were never sure about it. You know, that's what I mean, you know, it's just, they're just fucking around. You know, it's like, do I like strawberry or chocolate? Well, if you don't know, who am I then? Well, you were just a guy, you know, to pass the time with, you know, until the real deal comes. Yeah, nice. Because, you know, you don't consciously know these things. You cannot express them. You just come here. I don't know. I'm 100% sure that I could not have impregnated any woman, you know, that I slept with. And none of them got pregnant. Not in the I have a child and I'm pregnant. No, there were weird instances where I slept with women and usually we had sex without condoms, which is probably not advisable. You know, it's just your own choice. They always took the pill or something, or I had the spiral or whatever. And, you know, sometimes I really had to poke it in there. You know, because you meet women and they just act like, you know, super nice. And they're exactly how you like them, you know, how I like, you know, I like women slim. That's just what I like. I prefer slim women because I'm a slim guy. And, you know, I can work with slim women, you know, that are like just like a bit tough. You know, of course, a woman also should have a bit of flesh, but I'm not a really flashy guy. You know, I'm like, you know, I'm flashy, but I'm not fleshy. I'm flashy, but I'm not fleshy. And that's what you know, I like women that are a bit like me. Or, you know, because that for me is a challenge then. Whatever, you know, who cares? So, that's what you have to figure out for yourself. Because the one that went hiking with me, no, I'm just saying, she felt a bit too wide. It's not true. She was super sexy. She was really beautiful. Okay, let's be honest. If I would meet her, I would probably kiss her this time. And just forget how shy I feel. And forget how bad I feel about getting rid of some other woman. But I also feel like I would really break something, you know? I would tear the other woman apart. And maybe that's what I have to do. I mean, sometimes the wife cheats on the husband just to show him. I think there's also a beauty in that. You know, if you don't pay attention to me, I'm going to fuck another guy. Question, do you want to be like this? I don't. So how much value do I give to what I just described for the last couple of years? No, it's just like a couple of months. You know, basically 1 year since I met her. It's like, that's like a year, a bit more. One year, a couple of weeks that we met. I think it was sometime after where I would say we slept with each other. And then nothing. I mean, a bit in between. Actually, crap. Wait. It's already longer. I was in 2021. Holy moly. In 2021. Wait. I wrote the Book of Fear. 2020, I finished my dissertation, my master's thesis on vervet monkeys, which is on my website. I assume my website will still be online by that time. Yeah, I think so. If you want to check it, it's there. Whatever. There's no plagiarism. I wrote it. I got the degree. I even put up the certificate. But what's the point of having it if you can't flash it a little? Because people, they really wank off on that stuff. Teammate was just like, oh yeah, I mean, it's nice that you managed. And not even too bad. I mean, could have been worse. It just says nothing. But another thing, if you're supposed to have the degree, you're gonna get it somehow. And I was supposed to have it, and here I am. I was supposed to have it, and here I am. I hate these electric scooters. Such a waste of resources. Just give him a bike, man. Nobody needs scoot around an electric scooter and be super lazy about it. I don't care how much you enjoy that. I mean, okay, why do I use this camera? Well, that's actually, that's more useful. But just an electric scooter? What's the message? Hey, I'm lazy. Good job. I can see that. From what is that again? I can see that. I'm not sure. I think it's got to come back eventually. Ha! Now what happens in my mind? I say it's gonna come back eventually, and then what? My mind slips to the one that I went on this hike with during the full moon. It's like I'm throwing a pebble and it's skipping once. The image of that young girl I met here. And far, far behind that, this other one. I skip once, skips twice. But not in a sense of consecutive. No, not consecutive. I have to just get my head about this. More like something has been laid over something else. Because the one that I met possibly just wasn't it. It was an image of her, an idea. But we never know how much we project. I may meet you and I may think you're my hero, right? You're gonna be my next best friend. What you don't realize is I'm not your next best friend. I do not like spending a lot of time with men. And I've made that clear for various reasons. Because men, just to me, are often toxic. I sometimes, it just seems to be my path. I do like occasionally, spending time with men, but I'm preparing myself to be with a woman. So, like I keep saying that there are no rules. There are no rules. Yeah, it's this awesome feeling, right? Like now. I feel a bit sad, I feel a bit lonely, I can't help it. I walk around with this stupid camera again, I feel ridiculous. I feel ridiculous. I feel like a complete ass. Like, that's how I feel. I feel like a complete dick. So if I meet a woman, she'd certainly have to want it. I mean, I don't want to meet these women that just flash me the middle finger and just start crying if I don't want to have sex with them. You know? Fuck it. You know? I made sure, you know, I worked hard for the previous one, you know, the smaller ripple. I worked hard to keep her away from me. Because the shit that she gave me, well, that was just too much. That nearly, you know, she just wanted to destroy me. And that's a fact. That's the truth. You can see it now in a romantic way, but I'm still recovering. She just wanted to destroy me because she was angry. You know, everything she did, she was just playing mind games with everyone. You know, when there were people, she was nice. When these people were gone, she was a bitch. You know, that's how she was all the time. And I don't know if that changed. I think she's still like this. And I meet a lot of people that are like this. You know, they're just like super nice and friendly. And when nobody's watching, they just bite you in the finger like my sister did. You know? As long as everybody was there, they were like nice and easy. Yeah, just have to drive slower now, man. And everybody was gone, you know? And you sit there, you relax just into, you know, I'm a brother, you're a sister, that's it. And suddenly she bites into your finger for no reason. It's like, well, that's inappropriate. I've talked about this at length. I don't know why it's coming back now. Because it's still there. It's still there. You know, it hurts if people treat you like this. And I made sure that nothing's ever gonna come from this side again. You know, I've really made sure that nothing's gonna come from this side again. You know, in my own way. Just setting firm boundaries. Not one step further. You know, or this is going to end bad. You know, I'm just saying. I'm not a sheep. You know, I can be a wolf. You know, a shepherd has to know how to protect his flock. And I have sheep inside of me. I have to protect that from idiots that just bite you in the finger for no reason. You know, just because they can't control you. You know, because they can't break you when they bite you in the finger. And I've had women, you know, it was like super weird. They would just like try to have sex with you. And then you just say no because you're tired. And they're like, you know, they just want to dive into you. You know, like a mole digging into the earth. What the fuck are you looking for? You know, you're not gonna get it like this. You know, you can't even be nice once. And you want to sleep with me. You know, we just had a huge fight. And then she thinks, yeah, we're just gonna sit next to each other. Fuck it, why do women always have to look at me smiling? Can't you just hate me how I hate myself? You know, what's that supposed to mean? Maybe she was just curious. And I think my mouth is sticky. There's hair hanging out of my face. I disgust myself. I think every woman should hate me. Actually, I think I'm nice. Sometimes. But I don't feel like it. Just have to think it. And then convince myself. But it's just, I don't know, it's just getting, sometimes I have days where it's getting worse. And then I have days where I feel like I'm, you know, the best guy in the world. You know, any woman should love me. Would want me to be around because I'm actually fun. You know? But nobody does that. Right? They're all kind of, I don't know. You know, it takes a lot. Well, that was a snake. So what was the snake, you know? That's a problem for me. Which women are snakes, you know? Which are just the temptress and which is the love of your life? I think the one that's just a little bit too flashy. or that's just pressing her tits into your eyes, that's the one. I don't know. Now comes the question, why did you start to fight? Because I met her and she inspired me. The first, like the seemingly smaller ripple. You know, I met her and she inspired me. It's not entirely true, to be honest. But what is the truth? There was something that sparked me about her. You know, it's not like I want to be her, but I saw something in her that I felt like, you know, I think I'm actually also like this. I just was afraid to show it. You know, I was just, you know, actually I'm not like that. I'm more like tough. I'm like, don't fucking hug me. You know, I like being like that. You know, I'm a tough guy. You know, I'm small, sturdy. You think I look a bit like a child? People underestimate me all the time. They underestimate me all the time. And then I show them. You know, you talk to, you know, I look like a vagabond. I look like a homeless guy. I know that. I like looking like this. There's no better place than being underestimated. But if you look me in the eyes, you know, you know where I went. And you see I came back. But not all the way, you know. I'm still halfway there. And that's the trick. That's the trick of not just going all the way, you know, of hanging on to something. And that's where I feel like, you know, she's the one who got me. She's the one who caught me every time I was on the verge of leaving. Ist das Ihr Ball?
Ja, ja, alles gut.
Soll ich nicht werfen?
Doch. Ja.
Boah.
Danke. Ciao.
Yeah. I want a dog. But yes, that's it. Just want a dog. And I want to do things. I'm just gonna replace women. Just gonna replace all the women with other things. You know, with a beer once in a while. With a nice walk. You know? You know, every time I feel like I'm not enough, I'm just gonna fill myself with something else. I'm gonna go for a walk. Okay, I have the camera. That's a companion. But that's of course my ticket, you know, further to the next phase. And that could start any day. So now I feel a bit good again. Because sometimes I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about myself until I'm in the presence of other people. And once I'm in the presence of other people, I can then suddenly, oh wow, that's actually how I really am. You know, everything that comes before are just my own opinions, my insecurities, fear, you know, that stuff. But once I'm in the presence of other people, you know, I show immediately how I am. You know, I'm not grumpy, I'm just nice. You know, I have sadness, I can feel it lurking behind my eyes. It's like sadness, which is why today I feel sensitive. Question, why do I feel sensitive? Now it says, because you overexerted yourself yesterday. There's this kind of overexertion emotionally. Putting it all out there, you know, going bareback. I mean, that's a vulnerable place to sleep with a woman without a condom. It's like, okay, let's see what happens. Well, nothing happened. The point I was getting to, I had sometimes moments where I slept with women. It was not just one. And they suddenly said, why am I bleeding? That's not supposed to happen. Literally. You know, if you are, I have to acknowledge this, that I'm spiritually somehow you know? And people recognize it in me. That was the story about the pastor, the priest that came to me and asked me stuff, you know, about life. Because he saw something in me and he listened to what I had to say. It's insane. I mean, why? Because they can feel it. They can see it, they can sense it. And so when you do go inwards a lot, there may be people who ask you for guidance, but don't just see yourself as the guide. See yourself always as the giving and the receiving side. Because while you give, you also receive. You know, you receive also respect. You know, I acknowledge you as a teacher, as somebody to learn from, right? I acknowledge you as somebody to learn from. That's a fact. I acknowledge you as somebody to learn from, right? And then we're going to make experiences with each other. No, that's not true. You know, that's like with the woman, right? But if I just meet someone randomly, he asks me questions, you know, I'm not going to exchange numbers. If he asks me, I'm probably even going to refuse. I'm just going to say, hey, just do your own thing, man, you know. I'm not that kind of person. Or I say, yeah, maybe let's see, right? I mean, I don't know you. I know that there are people out there who are really greedy. So you have to keep yourself private. It's like, you know, you don't have to tell everyone where you live. You don't have to take everyone home. And that's the same with women. Like, if she would have been invested, you know. Okay, let's stick first with this woman that I just mentioned. Two were it that I engaged with. We had sex. And suddenly they had their period or blood coming out. It was before. And once after. So it might be that if you've done your homework, your spiritual, you know, let's wake up a little. And then you go and sleep with a woman, that you pass it on to her. You know, it's like a gift. But the thing is, you don't know what that means. And maybe you don't even have to do homework. Maybe you are just born like this. Because I was born like this. My spirit always looks for the light. That's a fact. My spirit always looks for the light. Always. In everything. And you cannot just get rid of that. And that's a gift. It's a blessing. But it's also responsibility. Keep looking for the light. Keep looking, keep looking, keep looking. I don't want to continue now. That's a fact. If I would have a bottle of beer with me now, I'd be more than happy to drink it. Now, I don't want to go up there simply because I don't know. You know, if I film myself here, I shouldn't film myself slacklining now. I don't know. I just want to go up there. I don't know. I feel like there's something for me. Maybe just a realization. You know, okay, you go there, okay, nothing there. Alright, go back. That's how I often do it. Just go somewhere, check out the place. I have the feeling I want to be there. Something with a woman. You know, maybe that's just my sexual drive. I'm just walking it off. And I have the feeling, you know, if I walk until there, it's gonna be gone. And it works. Every time. You know, I feel like having sex. I sit at home and in myself there's this voice, you know, just take me, you know. Okay, it's actually saying the F word, you know, just F me. And I think, who's saying that? It's just my dream, maybe. It's just my, you know, I'm just making this up to keep me motivated. Because if I wouldn't think that, you know, I said that already, but if I wouldn't think there's something in it for me. I wouldn't do it. You know, I want to have sex, you know, a lot. You know, a lot. Like, I want to forget who I am, you know, in the darkness with that beautiful woman. And that's the thing, you know, I think for me, Tantra means you have to also be in check with each other. Like your spiritual energy and my spiritual energy, there's a buzzard or something like this, have to be in line with each other. What does that mean? It means that when we connect sexually, let's just call it like this, it's just a word. When we connect, we merge into each other, we become one, you know, we can actually do this, push and pull. You know, if I'm too strong or you're too strong. So that means the woman has to be a little bit similar in terms of height, in terms of weight. You know, you almost have the feeling she's like the feminine copy of you. Like, it's a bit weird. Just a bit weird, like, super nice though, infuriating, but if somebody infuriates you, it just means energy is flowing. And you can either overcome the boundary, have sex, make love, have a family, or you cannot. And then you're just gonna hate each other. And that's it, you know? You know, I want a woman that I can hang out with. Hang out. That's the kind of woman that I want. And I thought I had her. It's possible. You know, I want a woman that's not, you know, I want a woman that I can lift. Also emotionally. Because sturdy, strong women, they're like 2 meters tall, they're just gonna, you know, sometimes they're super sensitive. And I can't deal with that. I need someone who's a bit like, you know, head first or something. So you just have to be a little bit aware of these things, you know. So self-awareness is the best way to, you know, what's enlightenment? It's just, you recognize yourself. You know, you're enlightened, you have a clear view of who you are. And that's why you can make better choices for partners. You can say, wait, can I see myself in her? How far can I project this relationship? And it's still hard. And I still don't know, to be honest. It's just a lot of bogus bullshit. Because the other one I met for the moon, I don't know what that was. I don't know what that is. You know, it's still something with the dream and the Maya. So you can't be too sure of anything really being real. I really mean that. Which is why it always says don't cling. What you thought is lost may come back in another form. Or it may come back, you know, in kind of the same form. But I'm not sure if it's really gonna be you then. And that's why I'm very wary at the moment. I don't just sleep with you. You know, I wait till you openly come out of the closet and say, hey, you know, we have to talk. You know, that's what I'm waiting for. And I don't know where I think I would meet someone here. Usually I just meet myself or the spirit version of the woman that I think is also hiking around looking for someone like me or me. And that's often hard to pin down, you know, what is what, you know? Am I looking for someone like her because it's really lost? But, you know, all I know is I'm looking. And yeah, that's done. Jesus, that was a long stretch.